It's February 5th and day 40 of financial literacy. In front of you, you're seeing the agenda posted for the day in Classroom, along with there are several other things that are posted in Classroom. This agenda provides links to many different activities. As you know, you're very familiar with kind of how I do the links in your agendas, but if we take a look at this, you're going to see that we begin class by reviewing examples of paycheck deductions. And we discuss those paycheck deductions extensively in the previous class. So just a quick review on this. Next, we're going to go ahead and we're going to move along to reading a pay stub. So to help us do that, we're going to watch the video, How to Understand Your Paycheck. It's a very short video. It's got some really great information. It's only 2 to 2.5 minutes long. So make sure if you weren't in class that you take a look at this video. Next, as a class, we're going to move on to examine a pay stub. And we'll discuss together some of the noticings that students have. So there you're seeing some of the benefits that we covered yesterday in class. And on this slide, you're seeing the pay stub that we're going to talk about some of the things that we notice. So some of the things you want to pay attention to: employee name, employee social security number. There's the pay period, the pay date. Notice the pay date matches the same day that ends the pay period. This is the check number. By the way, even if your pay stubs are distributed electronically, you're going to have some type of identifying number for that transaction, and your net pay. Now, from the video, you should know that net pay is your gross pay minus your deductions. In other words, your net pay is your take-home pay. In this area, you're going to find your earnings. Regular hours that you worked were 80. The amount you received, $800. So that's going to be $10 an hour. Your overtime pay, you worked 5 hours. Overtime is time and a half. So $15. That gives you $75. If you add these two together, your current rate of pay, or current pay, your gross pay is $875. Year to date, this is how much you've earned from the beginning of your employment this year. So if you were employed January 1st, this goes all the way back to January 1st. If you've only been employed for a month, this goes back to the beginning of your employment a month ago. So everything that you've earned so far this year. Next, taxes withheld. You're going to see federal income tax, state income tax. So these are taxes that are taken out to do things like help build roads, help build schools, things like that. You're also going to see Social Security and Medicare. So again, these are federal programs as well. You'll see the current taxes withheld from this paycheck, and then you're going to see how much you've paid year to date to each one of these programs. And finally, your other deductions. 401k, that's a retirement plan. So you're contributing, or Jonathan Doe is contributing $35 every paycheck to his retirement account. Next, we're going to take a look at multiple pay stubs, and you'll have focus questions. Now, to receive the focus questions, you're going to have to pick those up for me individually if you weren't in class. And the paychecks follow, for the most part, the same basic format. You have earnings here on the left side, taxes withheld in the middle, and other deductions on the far right. Depending on how students do with reviewing multiple pay stubs, we'll move on next to this link right here, Tune Into Learning. This is about a 15 to 20 minute activity. This is an individual activity. It does require a screenshot at the completion of it. I'm going to go ahead and click the link so you can see what it looks like. And there are numerous questions. Here we go. So you want to start right off the bat with activity 1. Your directions are located here. So they describe or tell you what you're expected to do in this first activity. And once you complete that, you'll submit your answers. And if they're correct, you'll move to the next activity. So again, this is an activity it's going to take you all together around 15, maybe 20 minutes. And then finally, our last activity that we may or may not get to today. Okay, so again, these last two we may or may not get to today is read and interpret a pay stub. And this really is an assessment. And it's not an assessment that's open at the moment. Okay, again, that's something that you're going to have to see me to gain access to. If you have questions about the activities, please feel free to see me. I'm available every morning beginning at 8:25 and after school by appointment.